Welcome back to my channel. This is the Star Alchemist, the Star Alchemist, the Star Alchemist. Before, well, the video begins, but before I start, I want you to subscribe to the channel, like, share, and comment below what you think. Comment below what you think. Alright, this video, I'm about to say this episode, is about stop selling for mediocre. Stop selling for mediocre, please. And that's with anything. That's for yourself. That's with yourself. That's for looking for anything less. Anything that's not for you. Stop selling for mediocre. And I know people, they don't tap within themselves too much. But when I bet on myself, when I do the things that I want to do, that's when I stop selling. That's when I know what's for me. That's when things and downloads come to me. That's when things start clicking. When you settle, you just let whatever come to you. You let whatever comes. You don't think you get your manifestations. You give up. You settle for like a toxic person or a person that you don't really like, or they got a nice vibe, but you don't really like it. But you just settle for that. You settle for the relationship. You settle for the job. You settle for the money. You settle for the situation you're in when you don't need to settle for those things. It's mental. It's mental. A lot of this stuff is mental. And when you go in the subconscious mind, you can change a lot of stuff. You can tell yourself, reprogram your mind, and be like, you know what? I'm not selling this for no more. I'm not putting up with this. I'm not putting up with that. I'm setting boundaries, and if they don't abide by these boundaries, I'm gone. You can do it. You can do it. You just have to know that you can create your reality, that you can get what you want, and say no to the things that you don't want. Because if you keep saying yes to everything that you don't want, and you're like, oh, okay, this is just for this, it's like making the excuses for the situation and people that are in your life. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. You got to make the excuses that why you can get what you want, why you will get that money, or why you will get that business, why you will start it, why you will get that love. You know how you see the signs of things that you want crossing your path, and you never get it because you don't see yourself getting it. You don't see yourself getting it. So how are you going to get something if you don't see yourself getting it? You got to see yourself getting it. You got to see yourself having it. You have to step out on a limb, bet on yourself, because you can't go wrong when you bet on yourself. You cannot go wrong when you bet on your magic, you bet on your power, and I'll be like, I'm the god, goddess, or I'm the creator, I'm whatever you consider yourself as, and go and get it, and go bring the things you need, the things you want to you. And there's no limits to that. There's only the only limits you put is on your mind. The only limits you put is on your mindset. Don't settle for what you know now. Even knowledge. Don't settle for mediocre knowledge. Don't settle for mediocre music or mediocre anything that you don't want to do anymore or interact with. If you want to try something new, go try that. If you want to uh, go traveling, go do that. All right, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Are you waiting for a sign? Are you waiting for a sign that says, all right, it's time to not be mediocre. Okay, it's time to not settle for less. Okay, it's time. This, you need a sign. If you're watching this video, this is a sign to not be mediocre. This is the sign. This is the sign. And once you receive the message or the signs or the synchronicities, you step into it. You step into it. You step into it. And you do not wait for anyone. You don't wait. You just go, go, go. So don't settle for mediocre. Settle for mediocre will only lead you to more mediocre things. Settling for mediocre will only lead you to misery. Like, oh, I should have did this. And when you don't do the things you want, you feel bad. You feel real bad. And you're like, what just happened? Like, my life is not going this. It's like, but you're creating it though. You are creating it though, which is crazy. No one's controlling you. No one's controlling you. So, yeah, if you don't like the person like that, just be friends. If you don't like the job, leave it. Create your own job. If you, yeah, you gotta really go within to really be on a level of, you know, you're not losing nothing, and you know that you're creating everything. You have to be on that level and not be afraid. Because when you connect with yourself, higher self, become that, you move in infinite ways. You move in infinite ways, and you start doing some really impossible things. Get into your, align with yourself. Align with yourself. Please align with yourself. Get into your own element. Get in your own element. When you get in your own element and don't settle and know who you are, that's when things skyrocket. Have you ever been in the darkest days, your darkest hours, and things look impossible? Things look impossible. And then once you not let go, but once you go within and be within your power, things start just to happen. You get that check in the mail. You get that phone call from that person. All of a sudden, that person wanted to be with you, who you wanted. All of a sudden, these things start to happen. All of a sudden, these things start to happen. Magic starts. Magic starts. And that's when you go within. And that's when you tap more within. And that's when you move a lot of stuff. That's when you say, oh, I knew I had this power. Oh, I knew I had this gift. Oh, I know that. Oh, I know my power now. You start to trust more. Start to trust more. Start to go in more. Start to do more. Because you saw it. You witnessed it. Sometimes you got to witness it to do it. Sometimes you got to witness it to do it. Sometimes you got to witness it to do it. So, and this is when you learn to not settle for the things you don't want. Oh, yeah. You don't settle for the mediocre. The friends, the connections that leech onto you, or the connections that are no longer, in alignment with you and stuff like that. Mm-mm-mm. Those don't work anymore. Those don't work anymore. Peace. Peace. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Peace, peace, peace. Yeah, do not settle. Get into your own power. Get into your own power. Great, great, great. Yeah, step into your own power. Into your own power. How's everybody doing? Yeah, step into your own power and know that you're not selling for the people who are not for you. The things are not for you. When you know how to not settle for those things, everything gets out the way. Everything gets out the way. I even get in my own way sometimes. I even get in my own ways. I settled before, but now I know much better from my lessons. I know much better from my experiences. And then you gain the wisdom, and then you gain the knowledge to actually go, allow everything new in, and you're not settling for just whatever comes your way or whatever's still here. No, we do not settle for that. We go to the stars. We always go above. We always reach greater heights. Always reach greater heights. Because that's where the fun is. That's where the creation is. That's where the experience is. That's where it's unlimited, actually. In the cosmos, up there, but within here. Within here, within here. When you do it from your heart, when you do it from your soul, that's when everything for you really unfolds. That's a rhyme. When you do it from your soul, when you do it from your heart, that's when everything for you unfolds. And you let go from your heart. You let go what's mediocre from your heart. You let go of it. And you're not afraid. Don't be afraid. Because what happens is we hold on to the mediocre because we're used to it. We hold on to what's not for us because we're used to it. It feels good. It feels like this. It feels all warm. It feels good. But it doesn't feel good at the end. It only feels comfortable. It only feels comfortable. And we got to be uncomfortable with being uncomfortable. Like, comfortable with being uncomfortable. But it's within that is where the creation starts. It's from that where the creation begins. It's from that where everything really unfolds. Everything unfolds. That's where magic happens. That's where you trust yourself. That's where you go with your own flow. That's where you create your own flow and tap into that magic. Because magic is really not mediocre. Your soul is not mediocre. Your heart is not mediocre. So if you're not mediocre, why would you deal with mediocre things? Why would you not be abundant? Why would you not be love? Why would you not deal with the things that are you instead of dealing with things that you know that are not even you anymore? Answer that. That's when you gotta go within and ask the hard questions. Do I deserve it? Or am I willing to go through the fire, to go through the war, or to go through anything to get to myself? Because honestly, when you're dealing with high frequency things and manifestations, you're dealing with parts of yourself. The people, places, and things are the parts of yourself. So are you dealing with the mediocre stuff? Or are you dealing with the higher frequency stuff? The high vibration stuff? Settling and not going and not listening to yourself. Not listening to yourself. Your inner self, your inner voices, your inner thoughts. Not listening to that gut feeling like, don't go there, go there. Are you listening to that? Are you really reprogramming your mind? Are you really stepping out? Are you really betting on yourself? Ask yourself that. Because on this channel, we make stars. On this channel, we create stars. In this channel, we bring out the stars. Because that star is you at your highest form, doing what you want and not settling for what's not for you. Settling for not using your powers. Settling for not using your gifts. Settling for not even touching or knowing your higher self or higher learning. Settling for getting stuck on one thing like it's religion. And when you really want to expand on new things and want to lead yourself, because that's what I do. I only deal with leaders. I only service leaders. I only transform leaders. I only read for leaders to make them even more themselves and not have to wear a mask or nothing like that. That's why I deal with relationships. That's why I deal with love. That's why I deal with astrology. That's why I deal with all these things to get you closer to yourself. That's what all these things are for. These are just tools. Don't get attached to the tools. Only carry the bag. Only carry the bag. So when you're ready to use it, when you get ready to use the knowledge, you use it, you don't get attached to it. You do not get attached to it. You only use it. I'm only here to help you use the technology that you came with. I'm only here to help you use the technology you came with. And you came with everything, and there's nothing missing. There's nothing missing. You came with the tools, you came with the technology to carry out a certain mission or to carry out something, and you gotta do that. I'm gonna post that on Facebook too. That you came with the technology to thrive, to make things happen, to move things, to go into astral realm, to dream, to love, to have fun, to do all the things you're earning to do, to help the people. to create products, to do whatever you need to do. You just gotta tap into that. I know I am. I'm tapping in. I'm tapping. When you when you put down the phones, when you put down a lot of stuff and go within for maybe 30 minutes or hour, oh, you're going to find out what it is. You're going to find out what's really going on. Yep, you're going to find out what's going on. Tap into the arts, tap into the music, tap into your heart's desire. And not mediocre. Your heart is not mediocre. Your heart is abundant. And when you follow that, you lead. The possibilities are infinite. The possibilities are infinite. That's why I study the greats. I look at the greats and I become greater as well. I become more myself. I look at myself, I study myself, and then I just keep thriving. I just keep going. There's hurdles, there's stumps, there's obstacles. Well, you know, I won't say obstacles, but there's like things that we can transmute. Let's reword our words. Be careful what we say. Be careful what we say. Because I turn obstacles into opportunities. Turn obstacles into opportunities. That's what the greats did. That's what they did. If they see a problem, we transmute it. We transmute it. Turn obstacles into opportunities, into magic, into the things that take you to another level. A whole nother level. And when you're doing this, the shadow work becomes your playground. The shadow work becomes the playground. You conquered your shadow. You conquer the shadow. You tap into so much of the shadow work that it becomes normal. It becomes normal. In a way where if something comes up, you're like, boom, boom, boom. That's what I mean. As the darkness is the playground. The darkness is the playground. So if you got anything from this video, is don't settle on yourself. Don't sleep on yourself, and tap into your own power. And I gotta remember the things I said in this video because I'll make a post about this. Alright. So see you on the next video.